Okay, welcome back. We're now going to show you how to do Yorkshire pudding mix. This is a lost art, it really is. People tend to buy frozen Yorkshire puddings. And there's nothing like fresh homemade Yorkshire puddings for a good roast dinner. So what do we need? To start off with, we need some plain flour. Now, this general rule of thumb is you have 2 tablespoons of plain flour for 1 egg, and that should be about enough to make 6 Yorkshire puddings. Today we're going to make 12. So I need 4 tablespoons, and as you can see they're quite generous. And what I do is I put them into the sieve, because I really think that this helps to first of all avoid any lumps. It makes the whole mixture a lot smoother, and it takes the air in a lot better as well. So get that powder sieved in. Okay, so we now need 2 eggs. Here we go. 1 egg. 2 eggs. Alright, now what we have to do is mix that in. So Holly, mind down. And I just tend to do it with a fork. So we need to really blend this in now, and this will become a very, very sticky mixture. But this is an important part of the whole process, because this sets the foundation for the Yorkshire pudding mix. So let's get that going. It's a bit of elbow work. Let's get all of that flour involved. Okay, so as you can see, it's really sort of gluey now. So what we need to do is pour in a bit of milk, but not too much, just enough to get that mixture going. So just start working that mix around. Now, the good thing about Yorkshire puddings is it's very forgiving. What you need is a little bit of inventiveness, a bit of imagination, and just be bold with it. Because you can introduce other ingredients to make it a bit different. And there's nothing wrong, and in fact, I'm sure that Delia Smith nicked one of my ideas, which was to put a little drop of mustard into the mix as well. So really give it a bit of, I mean, you could use a food mixer of course with this, but it'd be a bit difficult when it's at this consistency. Now at this point you could make pancakes with this. And folding it all the time to get lots of air into it. And you're trying to achieve a certain consistency. Yeah. So keep folding that milk in. Now there's nothing wrong in putting either a bit of mustard in this, or a bit of honey, and possibly even a little bit of tomato puree if you wanted to, or some Lea & Perrins sauce, all of which will complement the gravy and the roast meat or the roast vegetables, whatever you're going to have as your main item. Okay, Holly, so if you zoom in on this, now here you can see that the air is in there, you've got lots of bubbles in, but the idea is that when the batter mix falls back into the bowl, it makes an impression and then disappears reasonably quickly. So you can see here, that's just about right. It could probably do with just a touch more milk, so we're going to put that in. not too much, just a drop more. We also need just a little bit of salt in there, and as I mentioned before, oops, a little bit of mustard. Now what the mustard does is it brings out the colour, gives it a really rich, vibrant, warm, mellow colour when it rises. So you can see that the yellow of the mustard blending in. Right, so now we've got about an hour before we're going to serve this, and that's about right. And what you need to do, having got the mix to this stage, is to pop it into the fridge. Now let's just look at that. Can you see? It makes an impression. Okay, now we're going to pop this into the fridge, and it's going to thicken up in the fridge. It's also going to cool down. Now, in the meantime, we're also, in about half an hour, we're going to put the Yorkshire pudding tray, Holly, look at the Yorkshire pudding tray, into the oven. And what you need to do is put in just a sort of a finger of lard, and it has to be good lard, and that's going to heat in the oven. And then when you put the cold Yorkshire pudding mix into the hot lard fat, it's going to create that nice, that beautiful risen Yorkshire pudding in the end. Okay, so we're going to pop this in the oven, and we'll be back with you in a few minutes. Finish.